All right, so I figured I'd film a little bit of the square that I'm working on for one of the teachers at my kid's school. If you've seen my more recent shorts, I've completed the cream one. I delivered that one, rather I gave it to the teacher yesterday morning. It's kind of like a pre-Valentine's Day. Since I had it finished, I couldn't just sit on it and wait until Teacher Appreciation Day. So that's just what I'm going to do. As I finish them, I'm going to give them to them. But the teacher that I'm making this back panel for, she wanted purples and blacks. She said she didn't care what shade purple. She would leave it up to me. And she had no preference about the design on the back. So I'm getting a lot of creative freedom with these, which is nice. And even more so because I'm not following a prescriptive pattern for these cardigans from start to finish. Obviously, this sort of thing, this is Mosaic. There are Mosaic patterns out there. This particular one that I'm following for this back panel is, it's Starburst, and I found it for free on Ravelry. Of course, I could come up with a Mosaic of my own, but this is just so beautiful. And I only do it until, let me see what round it is. Till round 8, because I'm using double-stranded, so it works up fast. So I'm going to do 2 rounds of this color change, this darker purple, and then this square will be done. So like 2 rounds of this alternating with black, then 1 last round of black in half double crochet form. But anyway, on to this. I believe this is, let's see, round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on to round 6. And then once I finish with this square, I'm going to be moving on to attaching pockets to my mom's cardigan. She wanted pockets. I finished the pocket frame yesterday, and in about 2.5 hours, I'm leaving to go pick up my sister for our day out. And when I'm there, I'm going to be handing over the completed cardigan with the pockets to my mom. So anyway, I'm not really going to explain what I'm doing because this is not my pattern. But I will see about linking the pattern from Ravelry in my description of this video. So you can feel free to get it. Excuse me. Because I know how to do mosaic crochet, the instructions are sufficient for me. But I would say, again, these instructions are free. So they're not going to be in a clean, polished, I hate to say it, I'm not trying to dig on them, but they're not easy to understand for beginners. You kind of already have to know, at least in my opinion. But they were easy enough for me to follow. Mostly because there's pictures. Anyway, so here we go. Excuse me. Now, one of the reasons why it takes me a little bit of time to do this is because I'm actually going into the back 2 loop, or the back, if I wasn't doing double strand, it would be the back loop, but I'm also putting it in the 3rd loop, which is, excuse me, when you're doing double crochet, there's like another bump there. So I'm going to kind of show it again. I know this is black yarn. I think when I go into these ones, you'll be able to see it easier. But, man, you have your normal V, so your front loop, your back loop, but then just behind it, there's this other bump. And I go into that one to add stability to my stitches, which I think works really well. I obviously can't do that when I do my drop down. Man, I don't get it. It was perfectly fine until I started recording. See if that fixes it, but and that should finish that row. Yeah, and at the end of this row, I should have, for this section here, not in the corners, but I should have 9 stitches. And you can see, because I'm using double-stranded, it works up really fast. That's just 9 stitches right there. Oh, that was my problem. So the allergens are a little up today outside, and I had the windows open earlier. And I have this thing that I wear at night to just help me breathe better. I'm sure you all have seen it before. One of those things, a little magnet nose things. Better than those Breathe Right nasal strips, I'll tell you that. Yeah, so going back to that third loop, if you will, that bump in the back, if I can do it in a pattern or when I'm making something and it doesn't impact the visual of the right side of the project, I'll put it in there because it just, for stability's sake, it just makes sense. Oh, so sidebar. I was talking about yarn prices with my mother-in-law. And obviously this yarn here, it is acrylic. For those of you that are not crocheters, that does mean it's plastic. Which, you know, is kind of a... I mean, I'd love to work with natural fibers all the time, but the prices are just nuts. And I was joking this morning, you know, looking at these natural fiber yarn prices got me feeling like I need to start raising alpacas or something if I want to work with natural fibers more. I have some coming. I splurged a little. I did a treat yourself type thing. So I have some coming. I'm going to probably make a cardigan from it for myself. But the problem is I have them in hanks, the twisted skeins. And the one time I had bought some of those, I screwed it up royally. So I'm hoping I will, I'm much more experienced now, so hopefully I will do all right. I may have to enlist my husband's help in caking them. But I do have a really good yarn winder now, so I've been using the heck out of it. And I will say definitely having the cake winder has made it a lot easier for me to work on this cardigan project. A friend of mine is getting married in March, and her mom was looking at my cardigans because she was showing her the cardigans I was doing, and she was wondering if I could make her a pink poncho, like a netting style poncho, before the wedding. And I think the style that she wants absolutely doable to have done before that time in March. And these cardigans are not promised until May 5th. So I might just do that to have the poncho done. But I asked her to take her mom browsing for yarn this weekend, and all they need to do is send me a picture of the yarn that the mother decides on, and then the store that they're getting it from, or rather that they found the yarn at, and I would take care of purchasing the yarn, because I know, like, I don't want to restrict them to a weight of yarn or a type of yarn. I want her to see what she likes, and then there we go. From there, I'll calculate how much yarn I'll need to make the style poncho that the mom wants. So we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm not gonna snip this because I haven't woven this in the way that I want to. I typically weave it in forwards, backwards, forwards again, 3 times. There we go. On to the next round, where I use my black yarn. So this, we should be able to see me working in the 3rd bump a little easier now. So here we go. It'll show. So there's the top of the V. The top of your stitch makes a V look. Normally, when you're doing mosaic, you'll just crochet into that back loop only. Now remember, I'm doing double-stranded, so I should see 2 on here. But I'm going to show you the back of my work. You'll have this top bump, which is your back loop. I'm looking at the wrong side. And then you'll have this, which is that 3rd bump, and that's what I crochet into. So I'm going to try and show you the back side as I do it. So I go into the back loop right here, and then I go 1 step further. Just double check here. Yeah. I'm going to go into that back bump. So if I was doing it on this stitch, it would be this one here and this one here. So I'm going to flip it forward again. And you can see that's about as much as I can pull it. But if I do a back loop here, just the back loop, see the difference? This pulls way higher. So going into that 3rd bump for me just provides a little bit additional stability and gives the yarn a little bit more to push back against, I guess. Best way I can think of saying that. All right, let's do a drop down. Oh, the nice part about, I guess this in general, is I can kind of share the creative process of making these cardigans or just the items that I make. And I don't have to worry about the people at the school finding my YouTube because I don't think they know I have one. And when I handed off the cardigan to the teacher at the school yesterday, I only asked for 2 pictures, mostly because I know my mother-in-law was going to want to see it on her because she was telling about how, whoops, don't get distracted. She was mentioning how she just knew those colors would look so good on that teacher, and she wanted to see what it would look like. I did share one of the photos to my normal personal face, not like I have anything other than a personal Facebook, but to my Facebook, but I blurred the teacher's face because, you know, I'm not doing it for the content. But I also don't want to forget that moment in man, I'm gonna have to take allergy meds today. I don't want to forget that moment in time, and it really does look fantastic on her. I'd love to share, but again, I don't want them to find my YouTube because I want to be able to share this creative process without spoiling the surprise for the respective teachers. And they have very different styles. Like, none of them are getting the same color. None of them are getting the exact same, like, you know, just a color swapped version of a cardigan. They're all having something different. Whoops. Yeah. Something different done for them that I feel maybe works with their personality. I'm actually still trying to figure out how I'm going to do the one that's primarily blue, because I feel like she maybe likes cute things. And by cute things, I mean like, you know, like cinnamon roll from Hello Kitty and Friends. Stuff like that. And I'm trying to think about maybe doing some sort of tapestry image on the back that's super cute. And she also teaches the kindergarten class. So, you know, if she wears it at school. But that's the thing, is I don't want to limit her. I don't want her to feel like she only has to wear it at school because it's cutesy. So, still playing around in my head with how I want to do the back on hers. But fortunately, the back on this one, on the purple cardigan, I already have set up in my head. The one that I'm going to be doing on what I'm going to call it the cheetah cardigan, or the leopard cardigan, is it's going to be in, you know, light, medium, and dark brown. And I'm going to try and do a interstarsia style crochet. So not mosaic style, but interstarsia style back panel where it's like cheetah print. Because the teacher was like, if there's any way you can incorporate cheetah print, she's like, I'd love that, but whatever you make for me, I'll wear. But I really would like it to be like that. The way I'm envisioning it in my head looks so cool, but I'm worried that the execution of it will fall flat. So we'll see. I've kind of already sorted out how I'm going to do the cheetah spots, how I'm going to work it, and the size I need. So yeah, I'm going to be excited. I think next weekend is when I'll work on it, because this weekend's a pretty busy weekend for me. I would really love nothing more than to spend my day working on these cardigans. I know if I could, I would finish 2 cardigans by the end of today, if that's all I was doing. Even though it's Valentine's Day, I prefer not to celebrate Valentine's Day on Valentine's Day. I don't put a lot of stock into it because you can celebrate your loved one any day of the year. And it's extremely crowded if you were to go out today. Lots of crowds, loud, long wait times. It's just not my idea of a good night, to be honest. A bit more of a homebody. Homebody. But anyway, okay, so I'm going to work on this next one. I actually don't think I have enough of this plum yarn, which is kind of sad because this last row is a little bit of a yarn eater for the purple. Let me show you what I have left. Excuse my hair or whatever you see right now. This is one pile. This is the other pile. So I think I'm out. I don't actually know if I want to continue on with this row knowing I'm going to play yarn chicken and I will lose. Let me see if I have another skein. I think I have another skein. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to step away just for 1 second and I'm going to go look. Because if I do, then I'll use that. So many partially finished sleeves over here. Aha, success. Oh my gosh, success. Look at that. And you know what was crazy? Is so I took a picture of the colors and I happened to get a picture of the yarn lot too. I said plum, it's purple. But when I went to go buy them at a completely different store from where I bought the original ones, I had found the same dye lot. I was like, that's insane. I mean, I guess it makes sense when they bulk buy them and then they're doing the yarn shipments to the whole area from a distribution house. You would assume that would happen at some point. But anyway, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use up that last bit that we saw and then I'll switch over to this one. So, yeah, it means I'm going to have to weave in a couple more ends, but I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to drop that back down into my bag over there. And here we go. Oh man, I'm so happy. I'm doing another one of those little treat yourself type things. I bought a computer chair that will allow me to sit cross-legged because I either like to sit on my leg or like this stresses my knee below and eventually my knee here and also my hips, but it's much better for me feeling like it's a better feeling than sitting like this, even with this like little thing that I have. So 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. Here we go. All right, let's get this row done. Try and keep this in view. Let's see. So we're going to do, we did the black drop downs there. 1, 2, 3. These were 2. Okay, so now I'm on to round 8. We're going to do 5 of these. Three, 4, 5. We're going to drop down. I want to make sure, sometimes when I'm doing this, I accidentally pick up one of the 2 front loops and I have to backtrack. Put that in. But working on these different cardigans has me inspired to make my own when I make my way through my long list of projects now and promises of cardigans to others. But I want to make one that's mostly like black in the front, and then the back I want to do like an interstarsia or a tapestry type crochet and have like Gengar on the back, because Gengar is my favorite Pokemon. If I do like a single crochet type pixel one and I do single strand instead of double strand, I could probably do the whole Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar evolution type thing.